Yo, 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 what's good? Thank you for coming to the House of Barf. I'm Chairman, and before we get started, I would just like to emphasize that the content that we share on House of Barf is for informational and entertainment purposes only. We are not financial advisors, and the information provided should not be considered as professional financial advice. Investing and financial decisions involve risk. It is crucial to do your own research or consult with a qualified professional before making any financial choices. The opinions expressed on House of Barf are of our own and do not reflect the views of any organizations that we may be affiliated with. Please remember that past performance is not indicative of future results, and the financial landscape can change rapidly. Always conduct thorough due diligence and seek financial advice from a financial advisor tailored to your personal needs and circumstances. By listening to this podcast, you agree that the host and in the future, if we have any guests, are not responsible for any financial decisions you make as a result of the information presented on House of Barf. Now let's dive into today's episode. Yo, yo, yo. What's poppin'? Yo. I am exhausted. Y'all appreciate everybody who decided to stop by last night. Man. Stayed up, watched the Detroit Lions. Oh, man. Kansas City Chiefs beat Baltimore. Which, I know. I'm in the DMV, but I was rooting for the Chiefs. And no money down. I ain't put no money down on any of these games. And then Detroit Lions lost to San Francisco. And I was actually rooting for Detroit Lions. I was like, come on, Detroit, pull it out. Well, take it easy. Yeah, so and then other than that, random. I was hanging out with a buddy of mine, and then we stayed up and watched some stripper show. Oh, I'm sorry, let me not say stripper. Some exotic dance show. I don't know. All the gems or all the stones. The lady. It was all good, man. The lady, what was her name? Eva. The lady, she was a character in it. So, I haven't even checked my Forex in a while, to be honest with y'all. And I got a naked short. That's wild. If I had a naked long position, to not check it, maybe, but to have a naked short and not check it, that's wild. But I mean, it's still hanging in there. Yeah, no, it's still hanging in there. Let me check pre-market. Right now it's approximately 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. January 29th, 2024. That's crazy. First month is about down. Yeah, that's it. Let me see. Look at some pre-market news. Broadcom, of course, which I'm so fucking tired of being broke. Man, I would have Broadcom in my portfolio. And there's this other company I've been looking at. This company called Melee. Well, ticker symbol Melee. Let me see. Ticker symbol Melee. But the name of the company is like Mercado Libre Inc. It's like, I was looking at some of these numbers and I'm like, this would be a good company number wise. Minus the fact that, this shit's been shooting up. Oh, excuse me. This shit's been shooting up, and it's like, well, the only thing that would concern me as an investor is it appears to be reaching resistance lines. But I mean, pretty good numbers. Pretty good numbers. Let me pull up Yahoo Finance. Give me just 1 second. Ticker symbol MELI. Financials. And I'm just going to go to their income statement. So, this is the last 3 years. 2020, they had a total revenue of approximately $4 billion. And then 2021, approximately $7 billion. And then 2022, approximately $10.5 billion. Like, man, that shit's crazy. The cost of the revenue, yes, it does increase. 2020, it was approximately $2.2 billion. Here, let me see. I'm gonna go to their graph. 2020 revenue was approximately $4 billion. It had earnings of approximately negative 700,000. That's crazy. Then in 2021, revenue was approximately $7 billion, with earnings being approximately 83 million positive. And then in 2022, revenue was approximately 10.5 billion, with revenue being approximately 482 million. That's insane. These numbers are insane. I don't know how I came across this company, just doing research. And it's a blower because I really wish, yeah, no, it's all good though. And then let me take a look, some other pre-market news. Let me see. Oh shit. I just saw something. They were talking about Broadcom. Let me see if I can find it back. Ticker symbol AVGO. I don't know how that became their ticker symbol. Ooh, yes, it's coming down a little bit. You know, and I'm not excited about it coming down, but you know, pre-market, it's down approximately 2%. Okay, that might make it just a little bit more affordable. So, gosh darn it, with eligibility, you don't have to be. Let me see if I could see. I was just looking at an article. With eligibility, you don't have to have. What's $1,200 times 100? Let me see. 1,200. This is a pre-market. Well, actually, Broadcom is now up 0.67%. Okay, so at the close of market, January 26th, approximately 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it dropped approximately 2%. Pre-market, it's up approximately 0.7 or 0.7%, something like that. So, yeah, it's going up. But regardless, at the end of market, January 26th, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it closed at approximately $1,204.88. Now, I'm just going to do 1,200 times 100. What's that like? Let's see. So 120K. So with eligibility, you don't have to have 120K. You might only need like $12,000. I'm not going to pull up the contracts right yet because I got to get up and start doing some stuff. And seriously, you have, and I'm not recommending this. Look, please don't listen to me. Listen to your tax advisor, CPA, financial advisor, lawyer, doctor, rabbi. You don't need $120,000. With the right eligibility, depending on your broker dealer, you know, your situation, whether you have, let's say, for approximately $25,000. I've noticed this with some broker dealers, and a lot of the regulations don't come from the broker dealers. Sometimes it comes from the regulators, such as the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, and FINRA, the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority, something like that. So it's not always your broker dealer be like, yo, give me fucking eligibility. They're like, yo, we can't. You know what I'm saying? Because it comes from the top. You know what I'm saying? So, man, with eligibility. So, for example, the Morocco Libre Inc., the ticker symbol MELI, is approximately $1,700. You know what I'm saying? So, do you need $170 to invest? And the reason why I say that is because in order to trade an option on a ticker symbol, typically you have to have 100 shares. So, for example, let me see. If you want to do like a covered call, you have to have 100 shares of the underlying. You know what I'm saying? But on the other end, let's say you don't have, or if you want to sell a cash secure put. I'm learning about some of these strategies, so don't think I'm an expert. But if you want to sell a cash secure put, you have to have you would have to have the $170,000 in your account. You know what I'm saying? But if you have eligibility and you can get a long call, you know what I'm saying? Let's say you go ahead and get one between 300 and a leap. I forget what leap stands for real quick. But it's a long equity acquisition something. Um, Seriously, look, I'm not the expert. This is House of Barf. I'm not trying to be mean or rude or anything. If you want the expertise, then go to YouTube and find somebody on YouTube Shorts who really put a lot of energy and time into their videos. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, I'll get there. You know what I'm saying? But right now, I don't know if you ever used to listen to these mixtapes. They were like called Street Beefs and whatnot or whatever. These mixtapes, they used to come out when I was a little kid. They were just raw. They were just raw. 50 Cent was on them. I think DJ Clue was on them. They were just, oh my gosh, Eminem was on them. They were just ridiculous, okay? They were mixtapes of just freestyles and rhymes, raw, aimed at other rappers. It was this. I don't even understand why we encouraged this behavior, but we did. I was probably about 12 years old, maybe. But essentially, this is all this is. This is just raw. Or another thing is, well, they probably put more effort into it. Um, on war times, ways that they torture the opponent. So let's say that we decide to go to another country and invade, or whatever it is, pillage. One thing that they'll do is they'll set up speakers and they'll just have somebody on the speaker in their language just yelling, blah 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 blah. Get out of our country. Blah, blah, blah. We love this singer, just yelling random stuff. And what it does is it tortures you. You can't sleep. You're tired. You're always listening to this other native language that you're not used to, yelling all the time. And you're like, yo, what the hell are they saying? This is essentially all that is. It's a guy picking up the microphone and just talking. But yeah. So, I kind of lost my train of thought. My bad. But regardless, if I can remember, so you have eligibility, right? You don't need $120,000 or $170,000 to trade on something. Now, it will get tough if you want to do something like a spread because you want to protect yourself from the up and the downs. So even if you're able to get, don't quote me on this, if you're able to get the long call for $12,000 and you're like, oh, cool. Well, let me just go get the long put. Well, now this is going to run you about 30,000. Okay, so you got the long call for 12,000. You got it 365 days out, or however long, or 700 days out. That cost you about $12,000. Then you say, well, let me get a long put just in case. And then whatever way it goes, essentially a straddle, or it may not be a straddle, it could be a strangle, whatever it is. Let me just go get the long put just in case, and I'll hold on to this for 300 days, close to expiration, and whatever it is, I'll just close the whole position. You know what I'm saying? Well, then that long put is going to cost you another like $12,000, you know? And that's where now you're getting expensive, you know? I mean, unless that's not expensive for you. I mean, if you got it, you got it. Thank God. God bless you. You can actually put in a hedge position and be safe. And not saying all hedge positions are safe, you know, but, you know, and you're not going to make as much money as you would if you would go naked. But, you know, so real quick, I got a few things I got to do. I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to check pre-market. I'll check it with y'all. Thank you so much, everybody. I saw y'all over the weekend. What were y'all doing listening over the weekend? You weren't supposed to be listening. You were supposed to be chilling with your family, watching Kansas City Chiefs, Baltimore Ravens, Detroit Lions, San Francisco. Thank y'all so much, man. I love y'all. I really do appreciate y'all. I'm Chan Man. This is House of Bar. I am thrilled to introduce you to an exciting new storybook journey that I believe will capture your imagination. Allow me to present Langston Mankson's Coolamade Stand Adventure, a compelling short story that promises to transport you to a world of interest, excitement, and learning. The title of the book is Langston Mankson's Coolamade Stand Adventure by Chandler Hayes. In a world of colorful imagination and captivating stories, a new children's book has emerged to empower our young minds with crucial life lessons, life skills, and financial literacy. Langston Mankson's Coolamade Stand Adventure is a cheering short story written by a talented Black author who understands the importance of equipping our youth in the early stages of life with the tools they need to navigate the realm of money, savings, and smart choices. Meet Langston Mankson and his imaginary best friend, Zonky, a pink elephant, two curious souls who embark on an adventure around the vibrant landscape of Wichita, Kansas, where Langston Mankson sets out to accomplish multiple goals and is met with obstacles that he must overcome. Langston Mankson and Zonky discover valuable lessons of talking about finances in the home in order to gain knowledge. Langston Mankson, with a little bit of confidence, the guidance of supportive parents, the help of community members like Mr. Tiller, and his imaginary best friend Zonky, Langston Mankson learns about the value of money and how to save, the importance of making thoughtful spending decisions, the significance of thinking outside the box when met with challenges with money, and the joys of sharing with others. Through relatable experiences and engaging storytelling, young readers are introduced to the fundamental concepts of money, such as earning, saving, and spending responsibly. Langston Mankson set savings goals, teaching children the importance of planning for future needs and dreams. The book celebrates diversity and the different perspectives on money, shedding light on its role in different people's lives. The characters' interactions emphasize the joys of serving others, the gift of sharing, and making a positive impact in their community. The pages of Langston Mankson's Coolamade Stand Adventure come to life with vibrant illustrations. The colorful and imaginative visuals not only captivate young readers, but also enhance their understanding of complex financial concepts. Langston Mankson's Coolamade Stand Adventure is coming soon to bookstores and online realtors. It is a must-have addition to any child's library, fostering essential life skills while sparking the joy of reading. Empower the young minds in your life with the gift of financial literacy and imagination. Join Langston Manson, Zonky, family, and friends on their extraordinary journey of running a drink stand to set them on the path of a brighter future. Your opinion means a great deal to me. I would be honored if you would consider exploring Langston Manson's Kool-Aid Stand adventure and sharing your thoughts. Your feedback could play an invaluable role in shaping the future of this project. If you have any questions, comments, or would like to discuss the book further, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Your support in spreading the word about Langston Manson's Kool-Aid Stand adventure would mean the world to me, and I deeply appreciate your consideration. I am a passionate advocate for financial literacy. Me, Chandler Hayes, and am excited to join the community of storytellers. With a background in finances, I am driven to inspire children to embark on their own adventures of learning and discovery through the power of literature. Langston Manson's Kool-Aid Stand adventure is a heartfelt endeavor to promote financial literacy in a fun and accessible way. As a Black author, I'm committed to providing children of all backgrounds with the tools for success, and I am proud to contribute to a more financially informed generation. Thank you for taking the time to explore this advertisement, and I look forward to the possibility of sharing this extraordinary literature adventure with you. Please feel free to contact me. You can reach me at the email c287gph@gmail.com. All right, thank you. Warmest regards. Have a great day. God bless. Yo, what's good? It's Chairman House of Barf. What's poppin'? Brand new whip just hopped in. Yo, all right. I was chilling, and then I noticed it was about 9:30 a.m. No, actually, it's about 9:40 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. January 29th, 2024. Goodness, where has the time gone? I felt like I was just 16 last week. Nah, I'm kidding. Not 16, like 21. I felt like I was just 21 like last week. Regardless, taking a look at the markets. About to run into a situation where more bills are due. Actually, I got a Washington gas bill, but guess what? For some reason, not for some reason, because I'm past due and my accounts are all out of whack, I'm forced to go to a 7-Eleven to pay my bills. So I went to like two 7-Elevens, right? And both of them are like, sorry, we don't have that service. I'm like, what the fuck? I don't know. Then, I don't know. They're saying you can go to Dollar General as well, or I'm going to go to another 7-Eleven. I'm going to try to get this figured out. I mean, I'm going to have to make a withdrawal soon, or distribution, actually, to pay some more bills. But it's all good. It's all good. I'm not saying I'm the best practicing, but I'm really trying to stay away from worry and fear and anxiety, because I truly do I truly do believe in this spiritual realm. I truly do believe in the Holy Spirit, my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And I truly do feel like anxiety and worry and weariness and confusion and fear are really all tools of the devil. So don't get me wrong, it is getting nerve-wracking. Okay, I've been making withdrawals for about 10 distributions, actually, for about 10 months. Now it's time for me to do my taxes. And I know what they're going to say. You've taken this much out in distributions. They don't understand, though. I'm going to have to send them letters from the bank saying my house is about to go in foreclosure. So I had to take a distribution. All these different things. You know what I'm saying? People don't really understand. So I'm just trying to say, okay, God, I know you're there. I know you're watching. And I know in every situation you're ahead of me. So just try to be peaceful. I'm thinking that on every episode in the future, I may start it off with just a prayer. Just to start it off. Just start off right. I may do that. Um, but along with the disclosure, then maybe just like a little prayer or something. You know what I'm saying? Just get the episode started off right. Now from there it may go downhill. You know what I'm saying? But I even got a question this past weekend. Why can't you just clean up the podcast? And I'm like, I understand. I know. But it's probably not going to get any cleaner. It probably won't. And think about the audience that you're leaving out. And it's like, I understand. I understand. And one day, God may get me there, you know? And is it necessary to be throwing out obscenities and cuss words and all that? Nah, it's not even really necessary. Honestly, I could do the whole joint without cuss words and obscenities. I really could. You know what I'm saying? But it's probably not going to get any cleaner. Really, it's not. I even talked to the marketing team, which we're going to get together like next quarter, because they're like, yo, I still haven't started on going back 266 episodes and listening to all of them and then cleaning up the titles and descriptions. Oh my gosh. And then getting the Facebook. You know who I got to give credit to? I know it's crazy. I have not buddies, but a couple exotic buddies. I don't even know what you would call them because they're not in the category of exotic dancers. Then that may be how they started off as an exotic dancer, but now they're just exotic people. And I got to give them credit. Seriously. They will, and I don't ever want to compare exotic dancers to the trap because exotic dancers, that what they're doing is legal. You know what I'm saying? It may not be, I guess, ethical, but they're not breaking no laws. You know what I'm saying? And even trap stars, if you got licensed as a doctor or pharmaceutical sales, you would be trapping legally, but the exotic, they're not even really friends. They're associates, whatever. I mean, they get their websites up, they get their YouTubes up, they get their OnlyFans up, like, and they do it quick. I'll be like, yo, if you be like, yo, you got a Twitter? Yeah. Instagram? Yeah. OnlyFans? Yeah. Twitch? Yeah. OnlyFans? Yeah. Venmo? Yeah. Zelle? Yeah. Cash App? Yeah. Venmo? Yeah. It'd be like, damn, unstoppable. You got a website? Yeah. It's like, damn. I'm sitting here. I'm supposed to be having my website up. Don't got it. Supposed to be having, I don't know what I'm supposed to be having. I don't got any of that shit up. I got this. I got this podcast, this conversation that we're having, and I got my phone. All right, to this market. Let's see. What's CNBC talking about? What y'all talking about? Is that Gronk? What is Gronk doing on CNBC? I mean, look, I don't doubt anybody. What is Gronk doing? Talking about? What? Why my sound not working? I have no idea why my sound's not working. Let me see.
You got to prep
Here we go.
in order to be ready for those situations.
Talk about how active are you when you bet? And how do you tell newcomers how to do it?
Yeah, so what I love about FanDuel and Flutter as well is that they're all about gaming. They're the number one online sports betting company in the whole entire world. And they love to do it responsibly as well. So you want to bet responsibly. There's no doubt about that. You don't want to be putting your whole check on the line, even though some people do, and then it gets really intense. But that's not the way that you're supposed to do it. You want to do it responsibly, and it intensifies the game that much more. I remember I betted on an NBA game last year, and I'm literally yelling at the screen every second for everyone to shoot a three and make it. So it just intensifies that game, and you're just so much more into it. So that's what I love about the aspect of it as well.
I'm sorry. It sounds so like he was prepped.
Now, I happen to love daily fantasy. I think it's one of the most...
It's like, hey, put in the part where this is the part we give you. This is what I love about FanDuel, blah, blah, blah. And then there's a part where they say, and then we want you to add a little personality to it. I remember one time I was betting and I was looking at the screen and I was yelling. Okay, and then get back on track. You know what I'm saying? It sounds so prep.
With Travis Kelce in that situation, George Kittle's an unbelievable tight end. He's the best complete tight end in the game. And last night, if you saw George Kittle pancake Aiden Hutchinson,
Wasn't that a
and
hit?
that's absolutely beastly to do as a tight end, to pancake a defensive end, and that's why that team's in the Super Bowl. And tight ends are transcending the position. I mean, you got to have a good tight end now to reach the Super Bowl. George Kittle, myself over the years, Travis Kelce, it's just known that you have to pay these tight ends if you want to get to the Super Bowl. But Travis Kelce, on the other hand, he's the best receiving tight end of all time. He showed up the last 2 weeks. He's putting up numbers, and he's going to be ready to go. He's already proved that he's already shown it that he can play in big moments. He's going to probably be the best guy to take for fantasy.
Do you ever think that...
That sounded a little bit more out there. That just sounded like himself. You should see he's spitting on he's spitting while he's talking.
It's definitely Mahomes. I mean, he went to 4 Super Bowls now. This is his 4th, and he's the quickest to ever do it in this span of time. And he's the youngest to ever do it as well, to get the 4 Super Bowls that quick. So Mahomes got a long way to go. Yep. There's no doubt about it. He's an unbelievable player. But to reach Tom's status, I mean, a lot of things have to go right. I'm not going to say he's going to reach it, but if it's going to be anyone, it's Patrick Mahomes.
Finally, a question about you and your brand ambassadorships, AARP, I'm sorry,
USAA.
Yes, USAA.
And Flutter. How do you choose what to be associated with?
You know, I love to choose things that I truly believe in, and what's fun as well. And being here with FanDuel, they're fun. Like we're doing the kick of Destiny number 2. I love training. I love, activities, and they got me kicking. That's fun. Also, USAA, it's fun doing the commercials, shooting them, and me trying to get in so I can get the insurance, even though I never served, or my parents didn't serve either. So I just love the fun aspect to it. I love the troops as well. USAA all has to do about, with our troops.
All right, so real quick, I know we're supposed to be getting into this market. Real quick, in sports betting, if I do look into sports betting, I'm probably going to go with Disney, with ESPN. I don't know. I'm going to take a look at it. DraftKings, FanDuel, MGM. I don't know. For me, it'll probably be between MGM and Disney. Off topic, what is probably the dopest tight end quarterback relationship? Antonio Gates, Phillip Rivers, Tom Brady, Gronkowski, Mahomes, Kelce, or let's not leave out. See, they didn't really have. I was going to say Lamar Jackson, Andrews. Kettle, he's been through a few quarterbacks, so he doesn't really have a. He's been through. I can't even remember all. He's been through Garoppolo. He's been through this guy Brock Purdy. I can't even remember who was before Garoppolo. Right now. And then who else we have? We have Peyton Manning and what was his name? Collie? Yeah, it was a dope ass joint. Yeah, it wasn't Collie. Was it somebody before Collie? I think Collie came second. Before him, it was somebody dope. It was funny because they looked exactly the same. And there's a few other tight ends out there, but I don't know if the dynamic was that crazy. I mean, that quarterback tight end relationship is insane. And I will admit to you, I was rooting for Detroit Lions last night, and I thought they were going to pull it out. And I don't know what happened. It was like somebody was flashing a flashlight in their eyes before the ball came or something. You know, like what the hell happened? I mean, there was the on defense they were dropping balls that were in their hand. On offense, the wide receivers were dropping balls. I'm like, yo, it was like somebody had a glare and was like, yo, flash it. And they're like, you know, like, yo, I don't know what happened. And then there was just one pass. I mean, it was a great game, don't get me wrong, but golf, I mean, look, I've been a supporter of golf for years now. Everybody's like, oh, golf is trash. I'm like, no, he's not. Have you seen what he's done? I mean, every team the guy goes to, which I only know him to be on 2 teams. I didn't even watch him in college, unless I did, and I don't remember. Rams, he did a fantastic job. Damn near, if I'm correct, got to the Super Bowl or close to the Super Bowl. Stafford got the job done. But then he goes to the one and only, come on, Detroit Lions, and takes them to the NFC Conference Championship game. The Detroit Lions. I was rooting for him last night, and you know, they say sometimes the stage gets too big. And that's something that I'm working on as well. I'm working on my personality. I'm working on my balance. I try to be transparent on House of Barf. Because seriously, you know, what's the point of having a conversation like this? I could keep all this information to myself. I really could. I'm not trying to be rude or anything. I could keep all this information to myself. I could just work hard, get a job, start a small business, which I have started a small business. For some reason, it's not coming up correctly. It's coming up as Hayes, Chandler Gregory. It's not coming up as Chandler Gregory Hayes as I thought it was going to come up as. It's coming up as Hayes, Chandler Gregory. So I started a business called Hayes, Chandler Gregory. It's a financial therapy company, and also it's going to be an entertainment company, such as House of Barf will be under it, and as well, it's going to have a community outreach program as well. So financial therapy, what is that about? I don't want to be a consultant. I don't want to give guidance. I don't want to be an advisor. I don't want any of that. Okay. I want to just sit around and talk about finances with people. Let what's on your chest out. Okay. If you got hate in your heart, let it out. I'm kidding. That's a joke. But regardless, financial therapy, again, it's Hayes, Chandler Gregory. I got to get it up. Got to get everything running. But regardless, it's about people just being able to come. And do I have a degree in psychology? Ooh, what they're talking about, Adobe? I was just looking at Adobe. Yo, I'm telling you, I think I might be a beast trader. Because, like, stuff I be looking up.
They're powerful product. My daughter's on all the time. I cannot believe the AI. I cannot believe how great it is. That's another good example. It's incredibly powerful.
They're talking about Adobe, CrowdStrike, Mongon, Inc., Zeckler, and Trade Desk. Oh, they just went to commercial. But yeah, if you want to support, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get it all. It's the business is registered. It has not been registered with the IRS yet, so I can get a tax identification number, a TIN. So I'm gonna work on that so that I can actually file my taxes. You know what I'm saying? But the business is registered. The way I registered it is I went to I can't even remember the name of the website. It's like I'll look it up. It's called like Business Express Maryland. So got it registered, and I really haven't been advertising much, but I will let y'all know, just between us, and I'll work on it. I did study psychology for like 4 years. Now, as much as people want to talk about how I got a criminal justice degree, that was bullshit. That was because of some guidance counselor at the University of Maryland, College Park, who told me that I would not be accepted into the business Robert B. Smith program, and said that I should change my my major just so that either one or two things. I could stay at College Park for another 2 or 3 years to get my 83 or whatever, or it could have been 333 or whatever it was, up to a 4.0 to get accepted into the Robert B. Smith. Now, if I do true research, is every student in the Robert B. Smith business program have a 4.0? Hell no. Okay? No offense. We all know how this system works. Look at Cam Newton. I'm not saying he was the greatest fucking quarterback in the world. He wasn't. He used to do the Dak Prescott thing where they love to... I don't know nothing about football, but they sell the ball 10 yards. I mean, he had fucking Ted Ginn, who fucking... I don't know what... That guy would run fast as ever. I don't know. He was a fucking gazelle. And somehow Cam Newton would still find a way to sail the ball over his head. I'm like, come on, you got like the quickest wide receiver I've ever seen, and you still sail the ball. It was this thing you could see where they lean back and they throw it up, and you're like, oh, yep, that's going into the stands. You know? But regardless, Cam Newton is still a beast. Still a beast. I don't know how. It's like the rise and the fall. I'm sorry, y'all going to hate this. It's like the rise and the fall of the black man. You know what I'm saying? It's like every time we have a fucking quarterback who's black and has a stellar career, then we just see that thing like hit the ceiling and come straight down, catapult. It's like, what the hell happened? They were a fantastic quarterback, and now their career is like over. You know, I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't want to get into all that because that's not about what Barf is about. But if we looked into the Robert B. Smith program at College Park, does every student in there have a 4.0? I can almost guarantee you, hell no. And yes, do some have a 4.1, 4.2? Probably. But some of them probably got a 3.0. And what is it? Systematic situations. Systematic issues. You know? So I was focused on business at the time. I still do. I honestly still do want to open up a candy store. I don't know. I just enjoy selling candy. It seems to make everybody happy. And I was looking at some commodities. I'm not an expert on commodity futures. It's something I want to work on in the future. However, I did not know this when I wanted to start selling candy. I just noticed, I noticed it. You know how you have the let's just, again, football analogy. I remember I had a coworker tell me, stop with the sports analogies. I'm like, oh, my bad. You know how you have a conversation saying, like, who's the best quarterback? Who's the best wide receiver? You say, you know who I think the best quarterback is? And it's like, who? I say it's Joe Montana. Or I say it's Peyton Manning. Or whatever. Or it's Patrick Mahomes. And then you get the person who breaks it down. You know what I'm saying? Statistical. Who's the best wide receiver? Jerry Rice. Terrell Owens. And they say, oh my gosh, don't even get me started on the LeBron James, Michael Jordan conversation. But there is stuff you notice just with no stats. And then there's stats. All right. So, what was I talking about? Robert B. Smith program. Shit, I even forgot what I was talking about. But there was stuff. Oh, crap. What just happened? Oh, sorry. I don't know what I just did. It's all good. I'm going to take a look and see what just happened. Okay. All right. All right. I'm going to take a look and see what happened. But we got to get to this market. Actually, I lost my train of thought. Crap, I'm so sorry. I know I do this a lot. That even people from the marketing team say you should have talking points so you can see them. Hey, I do what I do. But yeah. So criminal justice really wasn't like anything I wanted to study. One thing I noticed was people who love candy come back all the time. All right? They come back all the time. I sold candy before, and the same customers, on schedule, all the time. Well, I'm looking at futures, commodities, and whatnot, because I do want to get into futures. Eventually, I want to trade all types of stuff. So I have been doing like demo trading, simulated trading on futures. Been doing pretty well on it too. But simulated, it always hits different. But I noticed that the candy customers were very consistent. So that was years ago. That was 10 plus years ago when I sold candy. Now 10 years removed from that, I'm looking at futures and commodities right now. Sorry, my notes just got stuffed. And you know what they said the number one drug in America is? I said cocaine. They said, nope. I said coffee? Nope. sugar. I said, what? Sugar. Number one drug right now, at least, or last year. Something, I'll look it up in a little bit. Was sugar. I said, you know what? That's a fact. Because I remember when I sold candy, those candy heads, relentless. If I had to come up with a list of addicts, I would put pill poppers number one. What comes after pill poppers? I don't know. We got this thing out here in DC called water. Waterheads got to be up there. Cigarette smokers, cocaine addicts, coffee drinkers. Oh my gosh. And I would have to put candy up there. Candy addicts are they're up there in the list. Top 5. Yeah, like seriously. Yeah, it's serious. And coffee addicts, oh my gosh. Have you ever seen a coworker that hasn't had their cup of coffee yet? Oh my gosh. Watch out. Man, I used to run the Starbucks for some of my coworkers. And seriously, I really don't drink coffee. Because I'm not saying that I'm the best. I have a beverage. I have a beverage. And I see what bevs do to people. You ever been around people who've been drinking and you ain't been drinking? You know what I'm saying? They're the worst people in the world. But when I see like people who I hang out with who haven't had their coffee, it's like you can see a vein popping out of their head of stress. Oh my gosh, what's going on? I'm so frustrated. It's like, yo, did you have your coffee this morning? Oh, Jan, no, I didn't. Here, let me run down to the Bucks, get you your cup. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and write down what you like in your coffee. I know, Blue 42, say it, hike, left, right, swag, up, down. And I'm going to go get it for you. Man, as soon as you say, did you just say Bucks? Yeah, I better head to the Bucks. Let me get one too. I want a Haya, Kumakazi, Suma, Soy milk. Okay, just write it down. I got you. And then it's like, next thing you know, you got like a line of zombie. Dude, are you running to the Bucks? So that's one reason why I kind of stay away from the coffee. You know what I'm saying? And I know there's cultures. I got a diverse group of friends. All right, I'm not bragging. It's just if you grow up in like a metropolitan city, it's just what happens. I'm not trying to throw anybody out there, okay? Because I know people can be sensitive about their cultures. But it's a certain group of individuals. I'll give you the continent, Africa. And I believe they're on I would say east side, coffee drinkers, cafe, coffee. That's just their culture. Every day, and I've seen it. They roast their beans right in the house. You know what I'm saying? That was one of the first times I've ever seen that done. You know what I'm saying? Somebody roasting their beans in the house. But that's a daily occurrence. And I'm not saying coffee is bad. I think it's very good for your digestive system and everything. But yeah, I just say, you know what? And have you ever seen somebody on coffee try to get off coffee? I had to stop a couple altercations. I'm dead ass serious. And they told me prior to, hey, Chan, I want to let you know, I'm trying to, coffee drinkers typically, I'm sorry, I've noticed as well, smoke cigarettes as well. All right. It's usually coffee and a cigarette. That's kind of, and I've also noticed coffee and cigarette drinkers have some magnetic attraction to dumpsters. I don't know what it is. Every time I see somebody smoking a Jack or a Lucy, whatever you call it, and drinking a cup of coffee, they're always standing by a dumpster. I'm like, ugh. If you could have the trifecta of the nastiest combinations, coffee, cigarette, and a dumpster. I'm sorry. I'm like, oh, no, I can't do this. Can't do it. But yeah, so I had to stop a couple altercations between buddies who were trying to stop smoking and drinking coffee. Not even, I'm talking about coffee. And I was like, hey, remember, okay? Y'all haven't had a cigarette in about 3 days. Y'all haven't had a cup of coffee in about 3 days. And they're like, oh, yeah, you're right. You're probably very irritable. Okay, you're being very irritable. So that's, I don't know, it's just that, but trust me. I mean, alcohol is no better. Probably 10 times worse. But yeah, that's just one thing that I just feel like, the coffee thing is outrageous. Now, I will tell you, I'm not perfect. When I was in college, I would drink a Monster, cause I was studying till like 3 a.m. and then waking up and going to work at like 6 a.m. So I'm running off like 3 hours. You know what I'm saying? Not even to mention when I was in college, I had a maybe 2-year-old. You know what I'm saying? So they're still, I mean, they're kind of out of the phase, but they're still kind of in the phase where they do what they want to do, wake up when they want to wake up, go to bed when they want to go to bed. You got to wake them up because they fell asleep at 6 p.m. You're like, crap. If they stay asleep, they're going to wake up at 2 a.m. in the morning. So really, it may not even be in full 3 hours. It might have been just 2 or something like that. And I would be at work and I would down some Monster. And then, recently when I was about to lose my job, when I was about to get terminated, it wasn't blindside. They, essentially tortured my ass. They put me on all these probations, multiple probations. In my personal opinion, and I really can't touch on it right now. It's probably not the best idea because there's some ongoing things. But I really think it was just covering their ass. I really think they were just trying to cover their ass. They knew they wanted to get rid of me, but they knew that I didn't have the best support or upbringing. So instead of just terminating my ass blindside, it was like, yo, we got to do this the right way or something. You know what I'm saying? So like right when I was about to get terminated, because I'm trying to figure out what is it that I'm so god awful at. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, why is it that my shit is god awful? I had coworkers tell me, and I don't want to throw anybody in the bus, seriously, because no offense, I love my coworkers, I really do. But sometimes coworkers can be cowards. You know what I'm saying? It's awesome to have like a strong coworker, but when you have a coworker who's just like, I don't know why you're being treated like this. Well, help me out. No, I don't want to ruffle any feathers or turn over any leaves or anything. I love my job. I want to stick to it. You know what I'm saying? But I would have coworkers seriously tell me like, yo, Chan, like, I'm not saying you're the best writer. I'm not saying that your grammatical and your written, verbiage, whatever is the best. But I'm not going to say it's the worst. And I'm not going to say that the way you're being treated is justified for your work. If there's anything that's most important, again, going back to like one of those things where it's like, who's the best wide receiver? Jerry Rice or Randy Moss or Terrell Owens or Terrell. I think I'm sorry. I hear him always correct people. They're like, Terrell is Terrell. Oh shit. Oh, gotta remember that. But you know how you got some stats and then you got like, just a feeling. Sometimes I lose train of my thought, but it's kind of a situation like that. It was like, if there was anything most important about an investigator or an analyst, it would be that they're passionate or they care. Now, would you rather have an investigator who could get the job done? Fantastic. I was watching this thing called The Outsider on HBO. Man, that woman got her job done. She was amazing. Little quirky, but she got her job done. So you can have an investigator like that that's just the best of their job. You know what I'm saying? But also, I guess somebody like me who gets the job done, but also very passionate, but my work is probably not the best. I guess, whatever. And it's like, yo, Chan, if there's anybody in this office who really fucking cares about these clients or anything, it's you. You really care. And I'm not saying there's not other people who don't. There's a bunch of people who care. Bunch of people. I mean, let's just say there's approximately 5,000 individuals in the organization. I mean, it's not just me. There's several individuals. But there are also several individuals who don't give a flying fuck at all. They just know how to do the job. They do the job. They get it done. They've been there 10 years. If you work for certain organizations long enough, they'll wipe your student loans clean. So you get an individual who wanted to go to law school, got into six-figure debt. They don't know how the hell they're going to get out. This organization says, hey, if you work for us, and I'm not sure exactly how it works, because I didn't go for that. I was like, it's all good. I'll pay my student loans. Matter of fact, I did pay them off. One of the greatest feelings ever. They get into this six-figure debt. They have no idea how they're going to get out. You know what I'm saying? You could go try to work for a law firm and try to get that $200,000 and then try to pay your student loans off that way. There's another way you can go. You can go for organizations such as a nonprofit or government organization or something. You work for them for like 10 years. They'll wipe your student loans clean. Now, I don't know how the process works. It may not be that simple. You may not just wake up one morning and receive six figures in your account. There's probably more details to that. But yeah, that's one way for individuals. So what they'll do is they'll take a lower pay. They won't get the $200K going work for, I don't know, Freedman and Thurman or whatever. They'll go work for, a smaller company, get the 70,000, 80,000, whatever, 6 to 8% match or whatever, and 30 days PTO or whatever. They'll go work for that organization for 10 years to get the student loan swiped clean. Because essentially, after 10 years, you should be worth it, right? So yeah. So getting around to what I was saying was, I started drinking Monsters then too, around the time I was getting terminated, because I would stay up late. Late. Sometimes I probably didn't even go to sleep, trying to figure out what is it that I'm doing so wrong. I really was trying to help customers, clients. You know what I'm saying? There was nothing that was too small. There was nothing that was too big. Now, don't tell my organization that. They would highly disagree, But, everything I took and tried to comb, and this is something I did wrong, okay? But I would try to comb it with a fine tooth comb. Everything. I didn't care. Whatever your complaint was. It could have been the most minor complaint. By the time I'm done with you, you're going to feel like we exhausted everything. Now, my organization would say, hell no. That's why we fired your ass. You're going over this small ass $10 case like it's a fucking $1 million case with some celebrity. Do you think Nancy Pelosi wants to see this bullshit? Or whoever? Or, I don't know, man. I'm doing my fucking job. All right? And if anybody, somehow, some shape, some form, can go back and ever see my name on any case, you know what they would say? Wow, this guy, Now, I will admit, I had, I ain't going to say managers. I probably had one manager that I feel like I exhausted all my investigations. I turned this rock over, I turned this rock over, I turned that rock over. Everything's been covered. I'd have this manager be like, well, did you think about this? I'm like, fuck. No, I didn't. He's like, see, I got you there. And it's like, listen, but Chan, take your time. Trust me, you're going to get there. Well, I didn't get there. People told me about things like, well, every now and then there's an organizational reconstruction. And whenever there's an organizational reconstruction, typically they bring in a team of people, and these team of people want to prove that they're the best and that the old people are the worst. If you ever saw, what was it, Better Call Saul, they kind of had an incident like that. Um, and, essentially, you were a weak link and, you got wiped out. And you know what's going to happen in 5 years? There's going to be another organizational reconstruction, and everything that old team brought and everybody they fired won't matter. And next, there's going to be a new process. And if you could just survive, like COVID, if you could just survive the 5 years, you're going to realize like, oh, shit, everything they put people through, the people who got terminated, the people who got stressed out because they were on probations, the people who lost bonuses because their manager said they weren't producing enough, get screwed. And then a new process starts that's totally different, maybe even way easier or hard. I don't know. And then it's like, oh my gosh, everything. But you know what? Real quick, I know I babble on. Everything happens for a reason. Every single thing happens for a reason. I don't know what the reason was for me to get terminated. Because honestly, I'll tell you this. It wasn't for the money. I could barely pay my bills. If I had about $6,000 a month in bills, I probably was bringing in $6,000. And to be honest, I probably was bringing in less than $6,000. I was probably bringing in like $5,400 or $5,000. And I was just manipulating my bills to survive. So it dead ass was not for the money. I was doing it seriously for the passion of the industry. I'll say this real quick, and I shouldn't be saying this because I'm actually applying for roles. I got tired of being on the front line of customer service, face to face with people. There's so much bigotry out there, that I just was like, you know what? I want to work on something where I can literally just be behind the scenes and still be in the industry. Because it's a passion of mine, is this industry, So I was like, either I want to go to analytics. That's why I started trying to take the CFA, the Chartered Financial Analyst. Because I was like, I can work on analytics and I can help portfolio managers build portfolios, and I can do things behind the scenes that people don't even know I'm a part of, So instead of me being on the front line saying, hey, ma'am, sir, let's develop a plan. You know what I think would be good for you? VFINX, the Vanguard 500 Index or whatever. And people are like, I don't know if I trust you, you wide nose, like, oh, shit. All right. Can I get another financial advisor? Sorry, that's not the way it works. Basically, the financial advisor that you get assigned is a financial advisor that you're with, unless there's some serious, significant situation. Pretty much you're stuck with me. But the good news is the way the industry sets us up is we all get the same training. So the information that you get should be consistent across the board. Now, is that true or not? Hell no. You know why? Because I do more fucking research than a lot of people. So I know the information I'm giving is probably 10 times better than any other motherfucker. Because those other motherfuckers don't do no fucking research when they get home. They're fucking watching Real Housewives of whatever city, whatever. Or they're fucking watching, I don't know what people are watching anymore these days. When I go home, you know what I'm fucking doing? I'm sitting there trying to study up on economics. I'm trying to study up on how when bees die, it fucks up the whole economic system. Only because, again, it's not an effort for me. It's because it's not like I'm going home and be like, oh, I got to stay on my game. No, it's turn on the TV, turn on whatever. I hear something and it makes me want to do research. And it's not like it's hard for me because it's just what I enjoy doing. It's like playing basketball versus just going running. When I play basketball, I could probably run 5-6 miles and don't even know it. But if you were like, hey, you want to go on a 6-mile jog? I'm like, oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, no. Because all I'm thinking is, okay, how much did we get done? 0.7 miles. Oh, no. It's like, but if we play basketball, next thing you know, I ran 5-6 miles, didn't even really know it. So that's what it is with the industry. It doesn't bother me. It's not painful, So, yeah, I got tired of being on the front line and dealing with all that bigotry and whatnot. I was like, listen, I'm going to help these people out regardless. they're just not going to know it. Okay. I'm still going to protect the integrity of this industry. But if I can just get behind the scenes, you know what I'm saying? I know this sounds like some coward shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to go ahead. So what I can do is I can work with portfolio managers and develop portfolios that customers are going to buy. The only difference is they don't know they're buying it from a black man. You know, little do they know, my name is probably going to be on the team of individuals who put the, I don't know, ARC 500 together, or the Vanguard 500 together, or the BlackRock 100 index together. I'm part of that team, but they don't know it. And it keeps them happy, and it protects the integrity of the industry, and everybody is safe. Everybody is sound, except you got to watch out for the scam artists. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of scam artists. Please look your representatives up on brokercheck.finra. Please do a little bit of research. Don't just trust that they're your brother or they're your nephew and that they're going to put you in the best position, because a lot of them, not saying all of them, won't. A lot of them run into situations where they're a little bit behind on finances and they ain't got true grit and they probably ain't got God. So they do what they got to do and they take matters into their own hands. And what do? Little Miss Cindy, who's 95 years old, who's sick, and she knows her time is coming. They go ahead, they come over, cup of coffee. They start putting their names on paperwork while Miss Cindy is talking or asleep. Next thing you know, she passes away. All her assets go to little Timmy Turner. Years later, a great niece or somebody stops by the house, starts cleaning the house out, starts discovering paperwork where Nelson Mandela or Nelson whatever is the heir or beneficiary to Cindy's will. And it's like, how the hell did this happen? It was because they were coming over daily while nobody else was watching them. That's why I do believe in the guardianship program, but I do have my disgruntles with it. I should probably become a guardian. I should think about that because I really do have some issues with it. All right, real quick, last time I've been talking about 45 minutes. My issue with the guardianship program is essentially this nobody, no offense, this random person becomes a government appointed employee. When you're part of a clique, they essentially don't question your authority, your integrity, or anything. So last week, you were a nobody selling, I don't know, Mary Kay or knives. And this week, you took a class to become a guardian. And now your word is bond. And now when you tell the court, hey, this person is incapacitated and we need to go in there and blah, blah, blah. The judge, I'm not saying all judges are not going to question it, but some judges may be like, okay, court appointed employee. All right, fantastic. Their word is bond. Boom. They're incapacitated. Now this person has to prove they're not incapacitated. Could you imagine being an old person and trying to prove that you're not incapacitated in front of a room of younger people? You know what I'm saying? Not saying all the judges are younger, but just imagine. It's like, I'm not incapacitated. You're like, I don't know, man. You look a little old, but I'm not incapacitated, you know? And then once you're deemed incapacitated, the system starts. So while you're trying to prove that you're not incapacitated, and some people I'm pretty sure are incapacitated, meaning they can't take care of themselves, you know, but I'm pretty sure there's a few, even if it's a small group of people. Once it starts, it starts. Now you're trying to prove that you're not incapacitated, but the process has already started. So you get appointed guardians who come in and they handle your duties. I believe you get 2. Don't quote me. It may vary by state. Talk to your CPA, tax advisor, financial advisor, doctor. But I believe you get 2 guardians. One is to be there to handle your daily duties, such as, you know, put on your shoes and take your medicine, put on your clothes, take your bath. And then you get another guardian that handles like your daily financial duties or daily like money spending. Like, let's say you need a new pair of shoes. They go shop for the shoes. Let's say you need to pay your bills. They'll help pay your bills. Let's say you need to take a withdrawal. They'll help take a withdrawal. Now, the drug one, don't know a lot about them, but the financial one, know a little bit about them. Just a little bit, not a lot. So what this individual can also do is say, hey, you have too many pair of shoes. It appears that you only wear one pair of shoes. So we need to sell these pair of shoes. So they can go in, sell all your shit, and they pay themselves for their efforts. Now, the court has gotten a little hip to this, and they say, okay, you can only make a certain amount. Now, the certain amount doesn't necessarily mean that you can only make, 100K a year or something. Essentially, it can mean you can only make a certain amount per item you sell. You can only make 10% per item you sell. So you start selling all the shoes and charging 10% on all the shoes. Something like that. Don't quote me, but yeah, it can get pretty crazy, but trust me. But you know what? Seriously, everything really does happen for a reason. In getting terminated, it's been probably one of the worst times of my life that I've ever experienced, but it's made me a much stronger man, a much stronger individual. And I've also been blessed with being able to start Hayes, Chandler Gregory, a small business. Haven't had a customer yet. Well, haven't had a paying customer. I'm squinting my eyes at y'all. I'm kidding. No, because seriously, a lot of people stop by and they're like, yo, I want to talk about finances. People do it. And they're just like, oh, all right, cool. It's like, oh, you could have paid for that. I need to start telling people like, look, I kind of do this as a business now. So I was able to start Hayes, Chandler Gregory. Financial therapy. Essentially, it's just talking about anything. Now the target is finances. And again, sorry, I didn't say this earlier. So, the criminal justice degree really wasn't my thing. What it was business and finance was my thing. And then, my minor, I guess, was psychology. So I studied psychology 4 to 6 years, I started in high school. One of the theories has actually been debunked since I've been studying psychology. So that's kind of how long I've kind of been in psychology. The theory was boys are in love with their mom or something. Supposedly that's been debunked. Another theory was sex is the main thing that men think about. That's been debunked. Supposedly food is the first thing men think about. So I do have some experience in psychology, and I need to upgrade it as well. It's been a while. It's been probably over 10 years since I've read a psychology book. So even in the financial therapy, even though it's about finances, I do want to see if we can break some barriers, open some doors for individuals, because sometimes there can be a clog when it comes to thinking about finances, and it's like a clog, like a toilet. And sometimes you got to break that clog. And it's like, what's the clog? You never know. I don't know. It could be your mom or your dad were never good with finances. So you never even thought about it. Or you never thought you would be financially sound. Or, I don't know. I got to start the conversations and get the experience up. So that's what Hayes, Chandler Gregory is about. It's just financial therapy. And then there's the entertainment aspects, such as this podcast, House of Barf. And then I do want to get into the community and, have books out like Langston Mason's Cool and Made Adventure, and get those out to schools to touch on financial literacy, various things. Now, there's so many aspects of life. There's exercise, there's socialization, there's intimacy, religion, just various things. My main focus is finances. That's just what it is. I mean, will I branch out and do other things? I'm pretty sure, of course. I'm not a person who, I try everything. I'm like, what's her name? Shakira? Try everything. That's me. I like to go. Now, am I the person who's like, hey, what are you getting into this weekend? Oh, yeah, just going to take a hike down at Beaver Dam. Fuck no, I'm not that person. But do I do it? Yeah. You know, I'm sitting there on my couch, get a call from the homeboys. Hey, Chan, we're thinking about going down to Beaver Dam this weekend. You want to ride with us? All right, sure. Cool. Let's go. You know, I don't got to take the pictures and post them on Instagram. Now, I will admit, I do get a lot of people who are upset, who are like, you went to Beaver Dam, or, you know, whatever it is. Oh, you went to go try that new restaurant? Yo, did you take any pictures? And I'm like, see, Chan, you got to take more pictures, man. And that's kind of House of Barf, where I'm kind of like, you know what? Here. All right. Y'all want to know what I'm thinking, what I'm doing? Here, take it. House of Barf, take it. You know, House of Barf is a few different things. Okay. So yeah, I will try multiple different things. I would love to travel the world to try different cuisines. I love that scene in, what is it with Jim Carrey, Ace Ventura, where he's sitting down with the people and they're like, you want to try, I don't know what it's called, guano? Or something's like, oh yeah, sure, I'll try guano. He's eating it. This is delicious. What is guano? And they're like, bat shit. And he's like, ugh! You know, I would love to be that guy going around traveling, eating bat shit. You know what I tried yesterday? A couple people I was cool with cooked pig ear. I said, the ear of the pig? Literally, yesterday. I said, all right, let me try it. And I didn't get a crispy piece. I got kind of a squishy piece. They said, did you get a crispy piece? I was like, no, that wasn't crispy. That was squishy. They said, oh yeah, so you got that. I was like, okay, cool. You know, but I tried a pig ear literally just yesterday. And I enjoy it. Going to people's different houses, trying different cultures. You know, what y'all eating over here? You know, what y'all eating over there? Who do y'all pray to over there? Who do y'all pray to over here? You know, and look, I know I say my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, but I have no issue with indulging into other people's spirituality. You know, I've even had an image of a Ganesh on my cell phone for years. You know, talking to one of my buddies and telling me how Ganesh removes obstacles for you to become successful. Or I don't know if it's to become successful, essentially removes obstacles for you. I said, you know what? I'm going to have an image of Ganesh on my phone. And you know, I'm about to probably put up another image of Ganesh. Doesn't mean that I'm sitting there praying to Ganesh or Ganesha all the time. You know what I'm saying? It's some spirituality. You know, it's all good. I love it all. I love it. You know what I'm saying? Now I will admit to you, now if it becomes a little satanic, I probably won't indulge. You know, that's where probably my limit is kind of like, okay, I'm sorry. All right. I heard something on the internet that, oh my gosh, it was disgusting. This guy it was talking about, it was on the internet, how he would literally impregnate women and kill the baby. I'm not joking. I said, what? Literally, because that was how satanic people, that's what they did. I said, no way. That's kind of my boundary. Okay. Like if it becomes like demonic and satanic, that's where I have to say, all right, I rebuke you in the name of Lord Jesus. And I got to go my merry way. Other than that, and as far as cuisine, I would say anything that's not human, or poisonous, you know, venomous or something. Hey, I'll try it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm down. So that's what I say about finances. There's so many aspects of life, so many, you know, and enjoy all the aspects we can in this fishbowl. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the point? You know, I was just listening to somebody's talk about how, about Christianity. I'm sorry. We're going to get back to the market. And how the devil has confused so many individuals to think that they're just supposed to be a good person and that's the way you're supposed to live your life. Just by being a good person. And if you ever had a buddy or somebody say, you know what, I really don't think I need Jesus in my life. I actually am a really good person, you know, without Jesus. Supposedly this person was saying how That is a tactic by the devil. It's manipulation, it's confusion. To think that just being a good person alone will get you in life, past life. And if you think about it, what happens? They get the houses, they get the cars, and it's like, it's on purpose. Because the more and more this person thinks that they're just a good person and that, look at my life, I got this job, I got this house, I got this beautiful spouse, I got these children, I'm good. That's by design. Sorry, I know I'm not trying to get all, that's not what House of Barf is about. I know, but it's by design. It's on purpose. Because as long as this person can keep doing that, then they can be left alone. They're like they're a good little child. You can leave them alone. Okay? It's the ones who are not paying attention. The ones who are believing in Christ. The ones who are, praying. Those are the ones we got to go attack. You know what I'm saying? Those are the ones we got to go work on. They ain't right. They squeaky wheel. So, House of Barf is all over the place. My bad. We didn't even get to the market yet. Take a quick break. Chairman, House of Barf. I am thrilled to introduce you to an exciting new storybook journey that I believe will capture your imagination. Allow me to present Langston Mankson's Kool-Aid Stand Adventure, a compelling short story that promises to transport you to a world of interest, excitement, and learning. The title of the book is Langston Mankson's Kool-Aid Stand Adventure by Chandler Hayes. In a world of colorful imagination and captivating stories, a new children's book has emerged to empower our young minds with crucial life lessons, life skills, and financial literacy. Langston Mankson's Kool-Aid Stand Adventure is a cheering short story written by a talented Black author who understands the importance of equipping our youth in the early stages of life with the tools they need to navigate the realm of money, savings, and smart choices. Meet Langston Mankson and his imaginary best friend, Zonky, a pink elephant, two curious souls who embark on an adventure around the vibrant landscape of Wichita, Kansas, where Langston Mankson sets out to accomplish multiple goals and is met with obstacles that he must overcome. Langston Mankson and Zonky discover valuable lessons of talking about finances in the home in order to gain knowledge. Langston Mankson, with a little bit of confidence, the guidance of supportive parents, the help of community members like Mr. Tiller, and his imaginary best friend Zonky, Langston Mankson learns about the value of money and how to save, the importance of making thoughtful spending decisions, the significance of thinking outside the box when met with challenges with money, and the joys of sharing with others. Through relatable experiences and engaging storytelling, young readers are introduced to the fundamental concepts of money, such as earning, saving, and spending responsibly. Langston Mankson set savings goals, teaching children the importance of planning for future needs and dreams. The book celebrates diversity and the different perspectives on money, shedding light on its role in different people's lives. The characters' interactions emphasize the joys of serving others, the gift of sharing, and making a positive impact in their community. The pages of Langston Mankson's Kool-Aid Stand Adventure come to life with vibrant illustrations. The colorful and imaginative visuals not only captivate young readers, but also enhance their understanding of complex financial concepts. Langston Mankson's Kool-Aid Stand Adventure is coming soon to bookstores and online realtors. It is a must-have addition to any child's library, fostering essential life skills while sparking the joy of reading. Empower the young minds in your life with the gift of financial literacy and imagination. Join Langston Mankson, Zonky, family, and friends on their extraordinary journey of running a drink stand to set them on the path of a brighter future. Your opinion means a great deal to me. I would be honored if you would consider exploring Langston Mankson's Kool-Aid Stand Adventure and sharing your thoughts. Your feedback could play an invaluable role in shaping the future of this project. If you have any questions, comments, or would like to discuss the book further, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Your support in spreading the word about Langston Manxon's Cool and Made Stand Adventure would mean the world to me, and I deeply appreciate your consideration. I am a passionate advocate for financial literacy. Me, Chandler Hayes, and am excited to join the community of storytellers with a background in finances. I am driven to inspire children to embark on their own adventures of learning and discovery through the power of literature. Langston Manxon's Cool and Made Stand Adventure is a heartfelt endeavor to promote financial literacy in a fun and accessible way. As a Black author, I'm committed to providing children of all backgrounds with the tools for success, and I am proud to contribute to a more financially informed generation. Thank you for taking the time to explore this advertisement, and I look forward to the possibility of sharing this extraordinary literature adventure with you. Please feel free to contact me. You can reach me at the email c287gph@gmail.com. All right, thank you. Warmest regards. Have a great day. God bless. My bad, y'all. Yo, what's good? Chairman House of Barf. My bad. Y'all know me, man. I just be babbling all over the place. All right, let's get to this market real quick, and let's see what's going on. Let me pull CNBC back up. What are they talking about?
Market implication and the economic implication of what's going on, given this, is that the temptation on the part of leaders is just to spend more, to spend their way out of trouble. Typically, in an election year, leaders tend to...
This is Ruchir Sharma, Rockefeller International Chairman.
...inclined to spend because that's the easiest way, they think, for buying votes. The problem is, as you know, in many countries, the budget deficit levels are very high today, much higher than they've ever been. So I think that we are setting up for this tussle here where the politicians need or think they need to spend more, and yet you have the bond markets, I think we'll start worrying about the budget deficits again. Those worries were there last fall and they faded as the rate cut euphoria set in. I suspect sometime this year, concerns about the wide budget deficits and what unpopular politicians are going to do.
You see, I'm not the best financial guy because honestly, I have no idea what he just said. Let me try to listen to him again.
Correlation then, you believe, between incumbents with low approval ratings and the deficit spending that they tend to run up potentially in their final year in office. So given kind of the overall mantra around the world, what do you think that means? And just to kind of follow up on Carl's question, particularly as it pertains to volatility as we get closer and closer to some of these key elections?
Yeah, I think that the bond markets are going to demand a higher term premium for sure. Because in terms of the fact that, once this disinflation trade fades and people...
What the hell does elections have to do with the fucking stock market?
Rates just don't go back down like they did in the past in disinflation cycles. It's possible that even in a recession this time, the 10-year in the U.S. doesn't fall much below 3% or something. So I think a much higher term premium is what the bond market's going to demand. And politicians, I think, are going to learn the hard way that if they're going to try and spend too much, the bond market's going to revolt.
I could be wrong. Okay. I could be. This is probably the dumbest shit I've ever said. Here, let me see what this Shamar guy is still talking about.
Of this level of deficit spending around the world, that in a recession, maybe we don't have inflation and yields go as low as they did in the past. Is that an acceptable one, do you think, to the markets even? It seems as if we've...
What the fuck does inflation and all this shit have to do with the stock market? This has nothing... This could be the dumbest shit I've ever said. Deficit spending. What does this have to do with the stock market?
Inflation is headed now, in terms of, back to 2% for now. I'd say that... people are getting very excited about how much more yields can fall from here. And my point is, I'm just not sure that yields can fall that much more that the sensitivity has changed. So a much higher term premium is what I expect. But of course, there are many factors which determine what's happening in the bond market. But the US, I think, is really, this is where I think that even the fiscal impulse, which has been helping growth in the US, is possibly underappreciated. But I think that the really problematic case is this for Biden and other political leaders, that the connection between good economic data and their political support has broken down. Given where inflation currently is, given where unemployment currently is, you would expect their approval ratings to get a huge lift. It's just not happening, and it's not the US. Anywhere in the world, in the developed world, it's not happening. Now, very interestingly, a nice side story here is that in emerging markets, leaders in many countries are still relatively popular. There's still faith in the system. But I think that the problem here is that given the problems of income inequality, lack of social and economic mobility, a feeling of an unfairness in the system, this connection that you historically had between economic data, near-term economic data, and political support has broken down.
Yeah, sentiment indicators are broken in many ways. Rashir, it's a fascinating piece in the FT. Everybody should take a look. Thanks for the time.
I'll take a look. I'm like, what are we? I'm like, kind of like, what are we talking about here? Oh my goodness, Sophie is
22%. CEO Anthony Noto joins us next. Stay with us.
Look, maybe I'm small-minded, and maybe this is the dumbest shit I've ever said. All right, I don't claim to be an expert. Again, this is House of Barf. All right, you want that good technical shit? Go somewhere on YouTube, Wall Street, Brandon Trades, Investment Henry. Black Girl Stocks. Get the good shit. But I'm like, why the fuck does it really matter? Unless the president is about to come in and do some dumb shit, what are the main indicators of an economy? We're sitting here trying to make it seem like, do you think the market's going to give up? The people who are investing are already invested. And the people who aren't invested aren't going to be invested. Is there new money that's going to come into the market because Joe Biden gets elected or President Trump gets elected? Doubt it. Because you're going to have a bunch of individuals, I'm pulling out. I'm about to go get a 5% high yield savings account. Trump is president. I may send my money overseas. Oh, no, never going to get invested. Joe Biden's elected. Blah, blah, blah. These people weren't going to invest anyways. So, for me, it's like, okay, so the interest rates. Okay. Interest rates, I can see. Those, I'm not exactly an expert on bonds, but that could deal with the 10-year yield. If interest rates rise, then the interest rate on the 10-year yield may rise, something like that. People may start trading bonds. But let me see, leading indicators in an economy. Okay, let's see what the top leading indicators. Give me a second. I can almost guarantee you, I'm not sure, the stock market is probably last or one of the last things. Let me see, what are the top 10 leading indicators in an economy? Let's see, capitalgroup.com, economic indicators 2024. Let's see if they put it in a list. Let me see. Regardless, do I think that there's going to be this fair market value based on people feeling fair or the political? No, I could be wrong. This could be the dumbest thing. No, nobody gives a damn. The people who are invested are already invested, and the people who aren't invested aren't invested. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I want to get out and do what I want to do, so that we can get new investors. Because a lot of concerns that people have on investments is that it's a scam. It's a sham. Okay? And I get them to an extent. All right. So, top leading indicators of an economy by Investopedia.com. Number 1, gross domestic product. Number 2, employment figures. Number 3, industrial production. Number 4, consumer spending. Number 5, inflation. Number 6, home sales. Number 7, home building. Number 8, gosh darn it, my computer's acting up. I think it's getting hot. Number 8, construction spending. Number 9, manufacturer demand. Number 10, retail sales. So top 10, nowhere in there is it talking about the stock market. Top 10. So why the hell are we sitting here talking about, do you think that the political stance or whatever could bring volatility or no, it won't. It won't even create a fart. The people who are invested, and the people who aren't invested are invested. And if people don't feel fairly in the market, guess what? They're still going to invest. They may short, but they're still invested. And the people who do feel fairly, based on whatever political, yes, interest rates, inflation, because inflation, I could be wrong about this, if the prices of consumer goods go up, it's going to send the stock market up. I mean, because the prices of everything is going to go up. So, to an extent, now, if you have too much inflation, then you may not get the revenues that you're seeking because the prices have gotten too damn high, and the supply can't meet the demand. I mean, the demand is not meeting the supply, so you may have a decrease in prices. But you still want to be careful because, when I think lumber, there was the Canadian wildfires, and the price of lumber came down. It wasn't because there wasn't, what was it? It was because there was a less supply and high demand, but people couldn't meet the demand. So, the price of it went down, which is unusual. You would think that if the demand is high and the supply is low, the price would go up, but it doesn't always happen that way. So you could look at inflation and say, oh my gosh, inflation is going up. Revenues are going to go down because the demand is not going to be able to meet the supply. It may not be true. It may actually do the opposite. Inflation goes up, the demand meets the supply, and then prices could actually go up higher. Now that could be considered price gouging, which should be illegal, which I believe is illegal, which is basically increasing prices, not for the reason because of supply chain and everything, but increasing prices for the mere fact that you can. The demand is still meeting supply, even though you rose prices. One thing you can look at, I believe it's called elasticity. Let me see. This is what businesses play on. And one way you can look at elasticity is look at the prices of milk, gas, because those prices fluctuate a little bit more often than, let's say, like retail. You know what I'm saying? Elasticity definition. So this is an economic term that I learned a long time ago, like economics like 101. Essentially, if you think about elasticity, one way it was described to me is think about a rubber band. If you've been a child or even as an adult, you're playing with a rubber band, and when you stretch it, what's the game that you're playing? We're playing with stretching it to see. I'm typing in elasticity economics. You're stretching it to see how far can you stretch it before it breaks. Now, businesses and corporations don't want the rubber band to break because you may never get the demand back ever again, but they want to play the game of how far can we stretch this and how long can it hold? So, for example, if you ever been on the road and traveling at, let's say, above 85 miles per hour, let's say you're traveling at 95 miles per hour, and you're going a short distance, your rubber will probably do just fine. But let's say you're traveling, I don't know, 6 hours or something, and you're traveling at 90 miles per hour. Even though you're traveling 90 miles per hour and it didn't break immediately, that heat on that tire is cooking up. So you may be able to stretch that rubber band to a certain spot and hold it there and it not break. But then one day, pop, it pops. It's because it was stretched too much. So you don't want to bring it in where it's just wobbly, rubber band and nothing. But you want to stretch it out because essentially you want to get these. So what these businesses play with is elasticity. Essentially, how far can we stretch this rubber band before it breaks? So one way we can see it very clearly is in gas prices. So how far can we raise these gas prices before nobody shows up? Before people are willing to say, you know what, I'll just take the bus, or I'll just walk. Let me see elasticity. Elasticity is an economic concept used to measure the change in an aggregate quantity demanded. Let me start all over. This is Investopedia.com. Elasticity is an economic concept used to measure the change in an aggregate quantity demanded of a good or service in relation to the price movements of that good or service. A product is considered to be elastic if the quantity demand of the product changes more than the proportionately when its price increases or decreases. I'm sorry, but it's on Investopedia. That's why I want to get my read aloud tool back, so it can start doing the reading for me. So it does appear that there's multiple different elasticities: elasticity of demand, income, cross elasticity. Never heard of that one. Price elasticity. So yeah, I kind of lost train of my thought how we got there. But yeah, as far as what the election year is going to do to the stock market, I mean, seriously, unless there's like a nuclear, then everybody is not going to really do shit. Now, our president's going to work on the stock market because they know there's a high probably group of individuals who trade in the market. And if you don't support them, then they probably won't support you. Yeah, probably. So they say, all right, let's get the stock market together. Let's get the housing market together. They get all these things. But the stock market really, no offense, doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. Nobody's paying attention. So yeah, I'm sorry to go on about that. I just was kind of confused why we're sitting here talking about. Let me see what Bloomberg's talking about. Bloomberg, I don't know. If they're talking about it too, then I'll just have to shut the fuck up and just say, see, your dumbass doesn't know shit. Let me go to Bloomberg Radio, see what they're talking about. Why?
Points, NASDAQ up about 0.2%, so very quiet on the index level here. Yields coming in just ever so slightly, about 3 basis points on your 10-year. We're now at 4.1%. I'm going to take a look at the energy space. We've had a little bit of a pullback in oil. WTI crude oil off 1.2%, just above $77 a barrel. Brent, $82.66. Bitcoin, it is up 1.2%, 42,400. So kind of getting out of that selling range pressure that it's seen over the last 10 days or so. Right now, let's head down to Washington, D.C., because we're going to get world and national news with Amy Mars.
All right, thank you, Paul. A verdict is expected this week in the New York civil fraud case against former President Donald Trump. That judgment, on top of last week's $83 million verdict in the E. Jean Carroll case, stands to wipe out most, if not all, of the cash the former president says he has on hand. We get more on this from Bloomberg's Laura Davison in Washington.
Potentially, if these legal damages that he's facing, could hold, he could pay, somewhere north of $400 million in legal damages. Trump, per the Bloomberg Billionaires Index, is worth somewhere around $3.1 billion, and they estimate he has about $600 million in cash. Though it is famously hard to estimate Trump's wealth. It's all private businesses, and for real estate developers, just generally, they famously don't have very liquid assets because a lot of it is tied up in properties.
Bloomberg's Laura Davison reports Trump is promising to appeal both cases, but he may still have to put up the cash in escrow while those play out. Income tax season is here. Internal Revenue Service Commissioner Danny Werfel says they're ready to make tax filing as smooth and easy as possible.
So we are going through a process of rewriting virtually all of our letters and notices and putting them into plain language. And we've been piloting a few of these letters and sending them out, and we're getting much better response from taxpayers, a lot happier with how clearly we are articulating what they need to know.
You can start filing your 2023 federal income tax return today. The CDC is warning healthcare providers across the U.S. to be alert for measles cases. The Federal Health Agency says there have been 23 confirmed cases of measles from December 1st to January 23rd, and the CDC says there's a growing global threat as the uptick in cases in the U.S. reflects a rise in infections globally.
All right, let me stop.
And the San Francisco...
All right, let me stop before I keep listening to it. I mean, that right there was, no issue at all. They're just going over news real quick. They're not even touching on the market right now, but they do it 24 hours a day, so they got to touch on various topics. But Bloomberg does a pretty good job at it. All right, so market. Let's go ahead and take a look real quick. I'm gonna go to CNBC. It appears that the Dow Jones is down approximately 0.07%. S&P 500 is down approximately 0.04%. NASDAQ is up approximately 0.09%. Russell 2000 up approximately 0.32%. And the VIX is up approximately 5%. Wow. The VIX, do your thing. That just basically is the volatility index. I don't even believe you can invest in the VIX. Here, let me Google it real quick. It just basically lets us know that, volatility in the market is up or down. Can I invest in the VIX? Instead, the only way investors can access the VIX is through future contracts and through exchange-traded funds and exchange-traded notes that own those future contracts. Okay, so yeah, I guess that's one way you can invest in the VIX. And let me say real quick, what is the VIX? Oh, goodness. What does the VIX tell us? This is Investopedia.com. The volatility index measures volatility in the stock market. When the VIX is low, volatility is low. When the VIX is high, volatility is high. So as an investor, this is complicated. You want volatility. If you're, don't quote me on this. I would say if you're long in something, meaning you bought it low and you want to sell it high, you kind of want that volatility. If you're short, I don't know if you want that volatility so much. I think you kind of want low volatility and you kind of want things to drop. I could be, don't quote me on that. Talk to your CPA, financial advisor, tax advisor, surgeon. Now, I've been playing around with options. If you're long in something or bullish in something, or no, don't quote me on that. Okay. If you've sold a contract, I believe you don't want a lot of volatility. So when I sell contracts, which I'm about to get here and try to sell one now, I kind of look at the implied volatility and I choose something that won't have a lot of volatility. Now if I was buying like a long call, I would want a lot of volatility because I want things to move. I want things to shake. So in doing that, 1 second, they're talking about interest rates on CNBC.
Bullard, give us your take on where you see market expectations right now.
I think there's an excessive optimism that's spread in the market. And I think that some of that may have spilled over to the committee itself. I think that the Fed was very fortunate last.
This is Jeffrey Lacker. Where is he? Medicatis, something.
It's done yet. You've got strong real spending growth, as shown in the third quarter, and now the fourth quarter GDP report continuing. No signs of recession. Wage growth is still not consistent with a 2% inflation rate. You'll see average hourly earnings.
You're just talking about how many interest rate cuts do you expect for 2024? That's very important. So don't get me wrong. It's not that I disagree with anything, but when they're like, "Come on, do you think that the president election will?" I was like, "Oh, come on, get out of here." Based off of my lack of knowledge, I'm going to expect maybe one rate cut. So March comes along and everybody wants a rate cut. A buddy of mine brought up a good point. No offense, but you have to remember a lot of people are not economically or financially literate or sound. No offense. And I mean this as humbly as possible. So if you do a rate cut in March, an economic or financial literate person could understand if a few months later, the Fed decides to raise interest rates. We say, okay, they cut it, but then they rose it. They're like, okay, we cut it for y'all. We can't maintain this, so we got to rise it. However, the majority could very much rebel. And essentially, your whole role as a leader is not really to do what they put you in leadership to do. If I put you in head of, I don't know, nuclear physics, you may not know anything about nuclear physics. Main thing I may have hired you as a leader for is because you know people very well. So when you have the people, at the top, like the feds or whatever, one of their main goals is to manage people. When you see riots all over the place, that's an indicator of how this person led. It's like, oh my gosh, they're rioting everywhere. It's literally what people say. There's a dumpster fire all over the place. So that's an indicator of their leadership. So with the rate cuts, it wouldn't look too well to people if they went ahead and cut the rates. I don't know what they're at right now. I stopped keeping track when it hit like 8% or something. Let me see. I was like, oh gosh, this is getting ridiculous. And then people are like, oh, that's not high. Back in my day, I'm like, oh, sorry about that, Pop. It's like, nah. But what? I don't think it hit 8. It was like 7 or something. What are the current interest rates? What was the last? It got up to about 6.99, I think. Let me see. I don't even know. Wait, let me see. Determining the Reserve Bank of Australia is what? Is 4.35. Okay. 30-year mortgage rate is approximately 6.99. I see a 7.7 and I see a 7.2. So let's just say 7.25, something like that. It's current interest rate. Let's say you bring it down. Okay, you say, all right, we're gonna knock it down. And instead of doing it like 0.25 or anything, you say we're gonna knock it down 2%. All right. So you knock it down from 7.25 down to 5.25. The economy goes crazy. People start selling their homes. People start buying their homes. Everything happens. I could completely understand if they went on a freeze, like so after March, I don't know, they come back July or something, and they're like, yo, we're going to freeze right here. Okay, everything's popping. And then I can understand if they said, all right, we're going to raise it. Okay, shit has just gone crazy. Y'all are getting cars, houses. Y'all went nuts. I could understand. But somebody who's not really financially sound or whatever, or economically sound, and I'm not saying I'm the best, because I'm not. There's so many wonderful individuals who get this shit a lot better than me. They can fucking make $1 million a day. They understand beta, theta, vega, rho way better than I do. They understand corn and how that can affect. I am bottom of the totem pole. All right. However, I can understand if they said, okay, we're going to raise interest rates back up. All right. We don't want to create a bubble where people are getting into homes. And then next thing you know, the housing market crashes because they can't afford the home. They're getting in cars. They're running up credit cards. The banks can't run their businesses because people ran up their credit cards and they stop paying on their credit cards. All this shit happens. So they say, we're going to raise the interest rates back up. Y'all are doing too good. Wages are increasing. Y'all went crazy. And we need to slow y'all down a little bit. Okay. So we're going to raise interest rates. People may not take too kindly to that. So essentially, by lowering the interest rates and then freezing and then raising the interest rates, you could be opening up Pandora's box. People could go crazy. So essentially, to meet the demand or meet the people, when you lower the interest rates, you got to lower them until everybody kind of like plateaus. And they basically say like, okay, we've done all the buying we're going to do. We're going to pay all the credit cards we're going to pay. We're buying all the cards. And then you kind of can start raising them again because nobody's really going to be doing shit. You know what I'm saying? Now it's the bank's turns to get their money. So now you go to the bank and they charge you 8%. Well, it's your fault. You should have got the loan 6 months ago or a year ago when it was fucking 3.25 or 5.25. We looked out for you. Now you come in here all late. You're going to get that 8.25. But hey, do what you got to do. Pay it back quickly. Interest really doesn't matter if you get the principal down. So that's kind of how they kind of, I could be wrong how they approach the situation. Because again, you don't want to start a riot because you lower interest rates and then you rise them and people could get very frustrated, and then start rebelling. Rebelling how? Not paying their credit cards. Fuck that credit card. Not paying their mortgages. Now, one thing people will try to pay, me included, as broke as I am, you'll try to pay their mortgage. But when people stop trying to pay their mortgage and they start trying to live in the house and blah, 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 and now banks are going around trying to sell titles to other banks and shit's going crazy, you know what I'm saying? That's when you run into a serious situation. As long as people don't pay their credit cards, whatever, banks can sell them to collection agencies and the collection agencies can go around chasing people. I don't know, various things. And then when you start running into those top leading indicators where manufacturers aren't building anymore or construction workers aren't buying something, now we're running into a serious issue. And now companies, American-based companies, are not exporting or whatever. We're running into a serious issue. But other than that, if we can just maintain things, then everything will be okay. Then you can rise the interest rates. So, I know I'm going all over the place. Essentially, I think in March, I don't think we're going to see a decrease. I think we're going to see, if anything, a freeze or possibly an increase. Then I think around maybe like September, I think they'll meet again. Of course, they'll meet again. I don't know all the dates. I could look it up right now. So then that's March. And they come back around, I don't know, June, July or something. I think they'll go ahead and do like another freeze or something, if not rise. Then the housing market and everything's going to be so standstill. There's not going to be any jolt in the economy because buyers aren't going to be buying. Sellers aren't going to be selling. Nobody's going to get a small business loan from a bank. Nobody's going to go to college and get a student loan. Everybody's going to just be sitting still. You're going to have an occasional buy and sell there, but nothing really much. The volatility is just going to be depleted. Then I think they're going to lower interest rates. So around, I don't know, August, September. And then remember, once they open up that box, they got to leave that, they got to leave that box open. So then in December, you may get another lower. So I know they're talking about there's going to be a 2% lower by the end of December. Well, if that's going to happen, I think it's going to happen towards the end of 2024, going into 2025, giving 2025 a nice jolt, making whoever's president look like they're phenomenal. They're going to be a jolt in the housing market, jolt in credit cards, the banking industry. Last thing real quick, because I know I'm babbling. We haven't even got to the market yet. The question is going to be, how are we going to help this jolt take off? Everybody's credit cards are ran up. Everybody's behind on their bills. Yes, you lowered interest rates. The government lowered interest rates. But how, and the only thing I can think about is, because how are you going to be approved for a loan if you've already taken out a loan and you haven't paid it back? You know, what are you going to do, a debt consolidation and try to go apply for a bigger loan? Your credit's shot. You know, so there's going to have to be, the Joe Biden tax credit for people with good credit. So the people with great credit are going to be damn near obligated to go get loans so that they don't get hit. So this might be the first year they get hit over the head. Because, you know, what probably happened, Joe Biden passed a law, and then they're probably like, fuck you. I don't give a shit. You know, and they don't pay attention. And then this year they're going to pay their taxes, and then they're going to see that hit that they took for not doing anything with their credit score. And they're going, oh shit, what? It's probably going to be like $1,000 or something. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to be, oh shit. Then 2025, they ain't going to play with it. They're going to be, oh hell nah. I'm taking out a loan or something. And in doing that, they're going to start a small business. It's going to start getting people employed. They're going to take care of wages. I'm wondering, like, how are you all going to do it? The only thing I was going to say is the government has to get involved and do another stimmy. You know what I'm saying? To kind of get that jolt. It's going to have to be a large stimmy too. It's going to have to be like a $20,000 stimmy. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to have to get people their credit cards paid off, their mortgages back up to date. You know what I'm saying? It's going to have to be something crazy. And then you'll start seeing a jolt in the economy and the stock market and all that stuff. I don't know. It's all speculation. You don't quote me. However, real quick, to this market real quick. All right. So analyzing, I've been working on JetBlue, Marathon Oil. I did hear that the prices of oil went down, and it is affecting my Marathon Oil on the day. It's approximately down 1%. Okay. So I already sold a contract on Marathon Oil, and it approximately has about 350 more days on it, and I sold the contract at $45. The strike price, 45. So my cost basis is 45 right now. Okay, so I sold a strike price 40. Okay, right now the underlying Marathon Oil is going for $23. So why the hell would I sell a contract? I sold a put at 45 because the individual gave me approximately $20. Now remember, we times everything by 100 when it comes to options. So to say real quick, the individual gave me approximately $2,000. All right. No, did I say $20? I'm sorry. Was it? Let me see. Is it $2? I'm sorry. No, it's not $2. It's $20, right? 20 times 100. Yeah. So I sold the contract at about $20. And utilized those dollars probably to pay some bills. You know. So then I sold a call on Marathon Oil at $45. At strike price 45. I'm sorry. I sold the contract for $15 or 15 cents. So it wasn't much, but it's it was a 360-day contract. So I got 350 more days for somebody to decide if they want this contract or not. I was learning a little bit about kind of like the cost basis and everything. Because I will admit to you, I thought my cost basis was going to be 25. Doesn't really work like that. There's like the capital gains and cash balance account and everything. So my cash went down $2,000 when I got assigned to the put. My cash went down, but my cost basis included the $2,000 that I got. I don't know how to describe it. I'm still trying to figure it out on my own. So, for example, I'm not down 2 G's. My cost basis isn't down 2 G's. I'm only down like a couple $100. But my cash went down like 2 G's. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. But then I did get the $20 from the person who bought the country. I'll have to show it to you when I get my camera up and everything going. JetBlue, I do have another contract that I can sell. I have 3 lots of JetBlue. I sold 2 puts on JetBlue. Not for much, like 10 cents. My cost basis on JetBlue is approximately $7.76. And it's approximately 11:20 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, January 29th, 2024. So I sold 2 puts to get my cost basis down on JetBlue. I don't think I'm ready to get out of JetBlue. Let's see. Some news actually just dropped. It actually just dropped at 11 a.m. about JetBlue. Earnings preview. JetBlue is set to give its latest quarterly earnings report on Tuesday, January 30th, 2024. Here's what investors need to know before the announcement. Analysts estimate that JetBlue Airways will report an earnings per share of negative 0.28. Wow, okay. JetBlue Airways bulls will hope to hear the company announce that they've not only beaten the estimate, but also to provide positive guidance or forecast growth for the next quarter. And it's a long article. They keep going on. This was written by Benzinga. Okay, so I'm going to take a look at that a little bit later. But yeah, I am a JetBlue bull. Is it that I truly believe in the company? I'm not saying that. There's just a couple things that I've noticed, and let me see. Let me pull up. But it looks like I have one more contract. It looks like I only sold 2 contracts, and I think I got one more I can sell. Let me see. Yahoo Finance. And then I'm going to type in their ticker symbol, JBLU. So if you look at some of these numbers on JetBlue, take a look at some of these financials. Their total revenue, 2020 was approximately $3 billion. 2021 was approximately $6 billion. 2022 was approximately $9 billion. Sounds great, right? Cost of revenue in 2020 was approximately $4 billion. So again, it was $3 billion in revenue, $4 billion cost of revenue. So gross profit approximately $1 billion. 2020, 2021 cost of revenue was approximately 5.7 billion. Again, 2021 the revenue was approximately 6 billion. Cost of revenue was approximately 5.6 billion. Gross profit approximately 350 million. So the numbers in 2022, cost of revenue was approximately 7.7 billion. And again, their total revenue was approximately 9 billion. So, here, let me look at some of these numbers real quick. 2020, what was it? Revenue was approximately 3 billion, earnings negative approximately 1.4 billion. 2021, revenue approximately 6 billion, earnings approximately negative 182 million. 2022, revenue approximately 9 billion, earnings approximately negative 362 million. So numbers don't look great at all. All right, looks pretty bad. Not to mention they lost their contract with American Airlines, didn't get the antitrust thing to pass with Spirit Airlines, and made a deal with Air Serbia. And if I'm correct, Serbia is like in the Eastern Europe. And currently, I don't think anybody's traveling to East Europe right now, considering that we have some wars going on. But I will say this. Amongst all that, okay, I will say this. Looking at their 20-year chart, let me pull it up real quick. Looking at their 20-year chart, and I'll look at some other stuff as well. Let me look at like their short interest real quick. Let me go to their summary. Where's the short interest? Okay, I'll look it up in a second. I can't find it. Short. Okay. Short of interest. Gosh darn it. Okay, I can't find it right now. But here, let me see if I can find it somewhere else. Their sizzle, call sizzle is not even 1. Volatility sizzle is 1. Implied volatility is 86. Don't know exactly. Their current volatility is 53. Okay. Okay. It doesn't look good at all. But I will say, if there's anything, looking at their 20-year chart, the lowest that they've been in 20 years was approximately $2.81 back in 2008. All right, so currently right now they're trading, and again, it's approximately 11:23 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, January 29th, 2024. They're currently trading around $5.44. So essentially, and the highest they've been in 20 years is approximately $27. So I would say they're trading, near their 15-year lows. So it's things like that that pointed out to me saying, okay, well, they're still in business. And JetBlue is not like not a company. You know, I know there's the big companies, Southwest, Delta, American, but they hang in there. So I said, you know what? This might be a good opportunity. So I got another contract that I can sell on them. I may go sell a call. I sold 2 puts, strike price $4.50. So that should bring my cost basis down to, let me see real quick. My cost basis currently right now is $7.76 plus $4.50 equals $12.26. Divide that by 2. Should bring it down to about $6.13. So if I get assigned. I may not get assigned if the price rises. I just, essentially the contracts would expire worthless. And there's 4 more days on these contracts. So we'll see if it happens to come down past $4.50 and then I sold the contract for 10 cents. So it would have to get down to like $4.40 before somebody wants to assign me. So let's go ahead and go in here, and I'm going to take a look at the JetBlue contracts, and I'm going to go 4 days out, which is February 2nd, 2024. And essentially, I'm just going to say it's not going to go above a certain price. So I'm just going to look at like the last 20 days. And essentially, this is just a gamble. It looks like in the last 20 days, the highest it got up to was approximately $6. So I'm going to say it's going to, where's it at right now? $5.44 approximately. Again, 11:25 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, January 29th, 2024. So, the lowest has been in the last 20 days, approximately been $4.53. So I'm gonna say, okay, it kind of met, met in the middle already. Kind of met resistance. So I'm gonna say, you know what? It's not gonna go higher than $5.90 or something. $6. Not gonna go higher than $6 in the next 4 days. Let me see if there's any news that's going to come out. Oh, gosh. Earnings come out tomorrow. I just read that. Damn. Dumbass. Whoa. Never negative speak yourself. I apologize, okay? Never negative speak yourself. I apologize. I'm very intelligent. I'm very handsome. I'm very beautiful. Again, I do... if you truly believe in God and that we're made in the image of God, you wouldn't want to curse yourself. So that's why I try to not, speak negatively of myself. But I just read that earnings are coming out tomorrow. So that's why I didn't sell a third contract. So I'm not going to sell a contract. I sold some puts. I could go in there. I don't have the cash to sell another put. That's why I didn't sell 3 puts. Okay. Starting to make sense to me now. Okay. Well, I got Carnival. I got a lot of Carnival. And remember, a lot just means, it means 100 shares of the underlying. So I have 1 lot. And 1, times 100. So I have one lot of Carnival and no contracts currently sold. So what I want to go ahead and do, I have a trade price of $17, and currently Carnival is trading at approximately $6.10. It's 11:27 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, January 29th, 2024. So I'm going to go in here. Let me see if there's anything coming out on Carnival. Okay, it doesn't look like any earnings reports or anything coming out. Let me see if there's any like other news. Consumer stocks are ready to pre-ball Monday with Consumer Select, Spider, XLP, and Consumer Discretionary. I'm sorry, I'm mumbling. I'm looking at this article right now written by MT Newswires. Came out approximately at 9 a.m. this morning. Consumer stocks were steady pre-ball Monday with Consumer Staples Select Sector Spider Fund XLP and Consumer Discretionary Select Sector Spider Fund XLY, each recently unchanged. Okay, and they keep going. So essentially, let me see, they said something about Carnival. Carnival was slightly declining after it filed a shelf registration statement for the potential sale of securities from time to time. Okay, all right. So, and as we spoke, it just went up a little bit more, about 0.2%. It's currently up approximately 1.8%. All right. So I'm gonna go in here and I'm going to go to Carnival, and I'm just gonna go 4 days out. All right. I'm gonna start there. So I got trade price 17. I'm okay letting this go. What, $50 times 100? Let me see, 50. No, is it $50 times 100? Yeah. Yeah, it's $50. I'm sorry. $50 times 100. No, it's not $50 times 100. It's 50 cents, I'm sorry, times 100. And that'll be $50. I'm okay. I get $50. You want it, you can have it. That contract is currently going for 5. That's not what I'm looking for. I could sell it for 17, honestly. It's not a big deal because I collected a premium to sell the put. I could wait and try to make more money. Let's look at the implied volatilities. Doesn't look like there's much volatility, but look like there's. Let's go 25 days out. See if there's any. Okay, if I go 25 days out, I could sell it for $17.5 and collect a premium of approximately $32. Okay, all right, let me go 32 days out. And I don't want to go too far out. I guess, okay, I could sell it for $17.5 and collect about $39. Okay, so let me go back to 18 days out, which is February 16th, 2024. And I could sell it for $17.5 and get $24. You know what? Let me look at 11 days, which is February 9th, 2024. I could sell it for $17.5 and get $14. All right, forget about all that. All right, I'm just going to go 4 days out, which is this Friday, February 2nd, 2024. And I'm going to sell a contract at $17.5 for, because also I got to cover my commissions and fees. To sell a contract is 66 cents, and to close it or buy it to close is another 66 cents. So that's about 120 cents or something. I don't know. 0.66 times 2, 132. So if I sold a contract for 5, essentially I would come out with $3.68, which is not a big deal. I forgot what premium I collected to sell the put. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to sell it at 17. I'm going to sell it at 17, but damn, I'm not going to get nothing. All right, I'm going to sell it at 17.5. You know what? what was it? $3 minus $1.32 means I'm going to get $1.68. I'm going to sell it at 18. Oh, there's an 18.5 for 1 cent. But then that won't even cover any of my fees or anything. So I'm going to sell it at 18 for 3 cents. Mother sucker. This person's getting a great deal. It's all good though. All I'm going to get is $1.68 off of this at the end of 4 days. But if it does go above $18, then I'm going to make $1 per share. It's all good. It's not like I'm doing anything for this $1.68. So let me go ahead and sell that. All right, there it goes. $1.68 divided by 4. I'm basically making 42 cents per day, and their theta is 11 cents. So I'm making 42 cents. They're losing 11 cents. Oh no, I'm sorry. Their theta is $1.71. Damn. Yeah, that's a high ass theta. So essentially, my $1.68 is pretty secure. It's all good. Unless something happens in the next 4 days, it's cool. I'm okay with making $1.68 in 4 days. Not to be offensive or anything. Not too many people are making $1.68 on their bank account in 4 days. I mean, unless you're like a, 100,000 there or something. Typically, you're probably making $1, $2, whatever, every 30 days. Which I could have sold a contract that far out. Really don't feel like it. I'll take my $1.68. If it expires worthless, then next week I'll go sell another contract. And hopefully it'll be for more. You know what I'm saying? Be for $10, $15 or something. So then I get, $11. And if it expires worthless, then I go sell another contract the next week and hopefully for another $10 or something. And then that'll be $20. So in the 30 days that you took to make, $1 or whatnot, essentially I did the same thing. Just I had to do a little bit more effort over time. All right. So that's pretty much it for me today. This episode was about 2 hours long, all over the place. I don't think there's any other trades I want to make right now. I'm still going to analyze the market. I still try to stay up to date on everything else that's going on. I told y'all a couple things I'm looking at. When I get my money right, this ticker symbol MELI. Looking at ticker symbol AVGO. AVGO is Broadcom. And then MELI is Morocco Libre or something, some e-commerce company out there in Argentina or something. Argentina is suffering from a huge inflation thing right now, I believe. Don't quote me. But yeah, it looks like this Morocco Libre company is still doing tremendous numbers. Let me see. I'm going to type their ticker symbol in real quick. Today, they're down approximately 1.4%, which is fantastic. They shot up in the last 20 days. They were at 1483 and they got up to 1800. Crazy. So it's good to see them kind of pull back a little bit, and then that should lower the price of their contracts. Let me show you what a contract from Melee costs. I'm gonna go 300 and some odd days out. I'm gonna go to Delta 22. Contract is like $6,000. Crazy. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's craziness. That's craziness. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate it. Love y'all very much. I really do. Thank you for all the support. I'm Chairman. This is House of Barf. I am thrilled to introduce you to an exciting new storybook journey that I believe will capture your imagination. Allow me to present Langston Mankson's Kool-Aid Stand Adventure, a compelling short story that promises to transport you to a world of interest, excitement, and learning. The title of the book is Langston Mankson's Kool-Aid Stand Adventure by Chandler Hayes. In a world of colorful imagination and captivating stories, a new children's book has emerged to empower our young minds with crucial life lessons, life skills, and financial literacy. Langston Manxon's Kool-Aid Stand Adventure is a cheering short story written by a talented black author who understands the importance of equipping our youth in the early stages of life with the tools they need to navigate the realm of money, savings, and smart choices. Meet Langston Manxon and his imaginary best friend, Zonky, a pink elephant, two curious souls who embark on an adventure around the vibrant landscape of Wichita, Kansas, where Langston Manxon sets out to accomplish multiple goals and is met with obstacles that he must overcome. Langston Manxon and Zonky discover valuable lessons of talking about finances in the home in order to gain knowledge. Langston Manxon, with a little bit of confidence, the guidance of supportive parents, the help of community members like Mr. Tiller, and his imaginary best friend Zonky, Langston Manxon learns about the value of money and how to save, the importance of making thoughtful spending decisions, the significance of thinking outside the box when met with challenges with money, and the joys of sharing with others. Through relatable experiences and engaging storytelling, young readers are introduced to the fundamental concepts of money, such as earning, saving, and spending responsibly. Langston Manxon set savings goals, teaching children the importance of planning for future needs and dreams. The book celebrates diversity and the different perspectives on money, shedding light on its role in different people's lives. The characters' interactions emphasize the joys of serving others, the gift of sharing, and making a positive impact in their community. The pages of Langston Manxon's Kool-Aid Stand Adventure come to life with vibrant illustrations. The colorful and imaginative visuals not only captivate young readers, but also enhance their understanding of complex financial concepts. Langston Manxon's Kool-Aid Stand Adventure is coming soon to bookstores and online realtors. It is a must-have addition to any child's library, fostering essential life skills while sparking the joy of reading. Empower the young minds in your life with the gift of financial literacy and imagination. Join Langston Manxon, Zonky, family, and friends on their extraordinary journey of running a drink stand to set them on the path of a brighter future. Your opinion means a great deal to me. I would be honored if you would consider exploring Langston Manxon's Kool-Aid Stand Adventure and sharing your thoughts. Your feedback could play an invaluable role in shaping the future of this project. If you have any questions, comments, or would like to discuss the book further, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Your support in spreading the word about Langston Manxon's Kool-Aid Stand Adventure would mean the world to me, and I deeply appreciate your consideration. I am a passionate advocate for financial literacy. Me, Chandler Hayes, and am excited to join the community of storytellers. With a background in finances, I am driven to inspire children to embark on their own adventures of learning and discovery through the power of literature. Langston Manxon's Kool-Aid Stand Adventure is a heartfelt endeavor to promote financial literacy in a fun and accessible way. As a Black author, I'm committed to providing children of all backgrounds with the tools for success, and I am proud to contribute to a more financially informed generation. Thank you for taking the time to explore this advertisement, and I look forward to the possibility of sharing this extraordinary literature adventure with you. Please feel free to contact me. You can reach me at the email c287gph@gmail.com. All right, thank you. Warmest regards. Have a great day. God bless.